Hey, Beefcake Racing, as always. All right, we're here at the new location, and what we're doing, we're just, we've been so lacked on videos, and I apologize. We moved the location, moved my personal house. We got so much going on. We've got a ton of content to come for this new 2024 Mustang GT that we picked up. We've got so many parts here. I don't know if you remember, we just did a video where we put the MRT H-pipe on it. So that's all we've really done to this car so far, along with the Belgian 20s on here. The guys over at Belgian sent those to us, really sharp wheels with the bronze. But we got a ton of stuff going on, okay? So next thing up on our list, our friends at Stainless Works sent us an exhaust system. We actually have a couple exhaust systems to try out on this thing, but Stainless Works sent us exhaust system. That's going to be next up. LTH, we've got the new 2024 headers. Up there, I've got aerospace. We got the street brake kits, lighter brake kits. That's one of the best things for cutting some weight. We got some suspension parts from Steeda. We got some suspension parts from UPR. We got some suspension parts from BMR, like with the K-member and stuff. I just got a ton of stuff to go on here, suspension-wise, to get this thing dialed in. Oh, we also got a Suncoast converter to put in this thing to really help it out. And we actually went with the 245, really high stall in this thing. We also have a set of weld wheels. These are pretty badass. These are the we did the Vitesse and V series, all polished. I figured with this red, the polish would really stand out. So we already kind of peeked at those, but we'll do more of that in a new video. But today what we're going to focus on is the Stainless Works exhaust. Chris, my sales rep up there, and the owner, Ron, everybody, they always take care of his own stuff. We always test stuff out. They're Ohio natives for us. We always try to take care of the Ohio guys. So we're going to get the Stainless Works exhaust on and see what it sounds like. My man Phil taking the factory cap back off. Again, we've been driving around for a few weeks with the MRT H-pipe with our factory active exhaust. Been super happy with it. It sounds great. It gave it a nice deep tone. It works great with the factory axle back. Again, we do a lot of testing and development for a lot of these exhaust companies. So we've got a few systems to test out for the different manufacturers. So if you're not looking to spend a ton of money and you just want to keep the factory active exhaust or even the non-active exhaust, these H-pipes work really well. And again, we just want to thank our friends at MRT for sending us that. But now we're going to pull the whole factory exhaust system off and go to a full 3-inch all the way back. We're actually going to do the Legend system. So Stainless Works has a couple configurations. They've got an X-pipe or an H-pipe, and then they've got the Legend and the redline. Legend will be the quieter of the two systems. The redline will be the louder, especially since we've got the LTH long tube headers planned. I just don't want it obnoxiously loud. The difference between your H and X, H is a little deeper, X is a little raspier. I think the H is a little more old school muscle, so that's what the system I opted for. In addition, they give you these cool resonators to put in there along with their H-pipe. So we're going to get all this installed and let you hear it. And just so you guys know, you may not have seen it, this is Stainless Works' new active for the 2018 as well. So we're actually doing a full active exhaust because you can see the dual tips. Nobody's really hardly come out with a dual tip active exhaust setup yet for these. So mainly just the H or X resonator deletes. So let's get to finishing taking this off and check it out. First up will be the H-pipe. As you can see, that slips right into that factory connection point. Similar to most of the exhaust systems are all going to bolt at this factory connection point, which just makes headers later, cap back later. You can buy headers, put those on with the factory cap back. Buy the cap back, add headers later, and they're all going to meet up at that factory connection point, which is pretty nice. Next up are the resonators. So Stainless Works uses their old style, like they call the retro chamber. Like the old 11 to 14 exhausts use these retro chambered, but they use them just as mufflers, but now they're using them as resonators, but they're really cool and help, especially paired with the H-pipe, generate a pretty cool sound. Now this is something really nice that Stainless Works does. Some of the other companies do it too, but Stainless Works always does it. Right orientation. So you know, right, of course, is your passenger side. So you know that this pipe goes on the passenger side. So as long as they don't mess up the stickers, you don't mess up the exhaust. All right, these are actually, so a lot of these aftermarket systems are a little easier to put on because the system's broken up into multiple pieces. When you're putting the factory system on or just an H-pipe, you're trying to get all these clamps and everything orientated to the front, to the back, everywhere, and it gets a little tricky. So with this, you set this axle, I guess you'd almost call it over axle pipe, except this isn't over axle because it's an IRS, but it would be equivalent of the old over axle pipes like we used to do. But you can just get this in with the clamps, makes it nice and easy. So it's actually easier than even almost putting in just an H or X pipe on these systems. Ain't that right, Phil?
Sure.
Say hi, Phil.
Put your clamps on first, people.
All right, yeah. See, this is what we're working with here, guys. This is what we're working with. Now that we've actually put the exhaust clamp on, I mean, you could, in theory, pull it off and everything. It's much easier if you slip the exhaust clamp on first. Now we're going to rehang this axle pipe here. They even color code these, so you'll see the left on this side, and they do it in blue instead of red. Color coordination, that's always so important. So I'd be lying if I didn't say Phil was just about to put the other side on and forgot the clamp again. Look at that face. You should have seen the face Phil just gave me because he forgot the clamp.
You lying.
Am I lying?
You lying.
Be honest. What would Jesus say? Was I lying?
Jesus knows.
Jesus knows.
He always knows.
He knows. So now we've got both axle pipes hung. We'll go ahead and you got your bolts up here for the clamps. We'll put those in just so they can't pop back off as we're orientating the over axle pipes. We also usually put a little bit of a lift or something underneath the pipe just to help it leveled out over there. Oh, that might have been Mrs. Beef packing some orders over there. Don't pay attention to that. We do find it easier to go ahead and take this back bracket off. You got a bolt on the bottom and the top because it's going to clip in this bracket here. Just slide it onto the last piece, your axle backs, and it's just a little easier to fit everything up than trying to squeeze it through over there on the pipe and through the bracket at the same time. So we've flipped this over the axle pipes, and now we're just going to clip this back in up top. Like I said, it's a lot easier to do it with it already in because your bracket is right where it needs to be versus having to try to push it back and slide it over and everything. So we've tightened the factory connection clamp there. We went ahead and tighten these down here. This is basically your whole straight piece. So you're just making this like one straight piece. These are both up all the way. These are up all the way. So all your orientation for your tips and everything is going to come from these last two sections back at the axle back and right here where you'll be able to rotate this pipe a little bit and then you'll get full rotation there. So between those two, we'll set up our tips to make sure they're exactly where we want them. Stainless Works uses double wall tips. By double wall, meaning where you see this how it's thicker like this, it comes down and slides in. These are some of my favorite tips. Everybody that uses double wall tips, I always love them. It just looks a little bit nicer to me than just a little single thin piece of metal there. So Mrs. Beefcake's measuring the tips for us there. We won't get her too much. Y'all like being in the videos much. So, how's that look? Pretty good? About the same?
Very. Not too bad.
Not too bad. All right, so we got all the clamps tightened down everywhere. Honestly, it's a lot easier with three people because you can have one person look, one person hold, and one person tighten the clamp. So it can be done yourself, but obviously it's a lot easier. So we're going to let this thing down now. But the whole Stainless Works system looks really nice. This is for the active exhaust. Should be the first one out there that I know of, but we're going to get this going. All right, so this is going to be the first start with the Stainless Works Legend H-pipe system for the active exhaust for a 2024 Mustang. So not super crazy on the start. So let's go to our quietest mode, Phil. Trying to learn how to use the screens there with the little horsey. Phil's trying to push buttons too fast. All right, Phil. So let's do quiet mode. All right. So the nice thing is the valves are working. That's a good thing. Let's go ahead and give it some revs. Now keep in mind we are indoors. We do have the garage door down, but or up a little bit. Give a couple more, Phil. So that sounds pretty good. It's still very tame, I think, for if you know, you're on the street or something like that. You don't want it overly aggressive. So let's go to the second mode. So you can definitely hear them valves open up some there. All right. Now, compared to the stock in the second mode, that's obviously going to be louder. All right, let's hit the third mode. You can hear the valves move. Again, I never feel like you hear a big difference in the sound there between the second and the third, but all right, Phil, go ahead. And that sounds very, very very tough, very tough. All right, let's go track. All right, go ahead. So that's all your different modes. I don't think there's a huge difference in the last 3 modes compared to the quiet mode. Definitely does get a little bit louder, but it's not a huge difference. So we've got the Stainless Works Legend H-pipe exhaust on. It sounds amazing. We're going to go out and drive it a bunch and just play with the different modes out on the street, see how they sound and everything like that. We might try to get you some drive-bys, but super, super happy with the sound on this. We had this on our 2018 Mustang, the Legend H-pipe, so I knew it sounded amazing. It's definitely going to get louder again once we add the headers onto the system, but for now we're going to go out and enjoy this, running around, make sure everything works great, give some feedback to the guys at Stainless Works, but happy with the tips, the fitment. It actually went on really, really nice. It's almost as easy to put this on as it is to do an H-pipe with how you have to pull the other system apart. So it's not that bad. Again, if you can have 3 hands just for that final step, for someone to hold the exhaust, someone to tighten the exhaust, and someone to look at the tips, it makes it a lot easier. Again, Beefcake Racing for all your performance parts needs. Mustangs, trucks, heavy cars, Camaros, you name it, we got it. Hit us up today. Figured I'd get a little windows up driving for everybody tonight. We got the exhaust installed. So right now I'm in quiet mode. And you know, that's the one thing about these active exhausts that are really, really nice. After our Dark Horse had the issues with being in an accident and everything like that, we decided just go for a base model because that's what we do, but I really did want the active exhaust. I like that. But this is with the windows up. I mean, barely hear it. You hear it a little bit, obviously, and it sounds okay, but you know, for if you're going on those long trips and your wife just doesn't really like the exhaust or whatever it is, this is pretty nice. So we'll go to the second mode. And as soon as you go to the second mode, it obviously you can hear the sound. It picks up, sounds a lot better. You get a little bit more rumble. These newer cars, though, every year they get better with how they're sealed inside and everything like that. I'm just showing you the road, by the way. There's no point in looking at me because it's dark inside the car. But so again, that's with the windows. This is with the windows up. So now I'm going to hit the third level here, sport mode. Now that you definitely inside, you definitely hear it wake up a little bit there. Make a little turn. So it's funny, outside the car it doesn't seem like you get as much of a difference when you go into the sport mode, but driving you definitely can hear it more, but still not obnoxious. And I'm not hearing any drone yet, but I want to get out here. We'll get out to the main road and I want to try it in all the modes and try to get the speed set at a steady and just see if we get any drone inside the cab, because there's one thing I hate, it's drone. Go ahead and hit track mode. And again, inside the cab, it's definitely more noticeable inside the cab than when you're standing outside the car. Outside the car, it would just at the light idle, it doesn't seem like it changes very much, but it definitely does inside the car. I mean, I noticed all 4 modes a difference. I mean, that has a really nice throaty sound to it. You know, like I said, we went with the H-pipe. It gives you that kind of old school muscle sound. So I really like that. I gotta roll down the window even though it's like 20 degrees. So exhaust sounds really, really good. It's not overpowering. It's got a great tone to it. I was a little skeptical because the factory active exhaust sounds really, really good. So it's pretty nice. I actually like the sound of this. So it's a pretty nice exhaust system. I'm going to get out on the highway. Once I get to where the speeds are steady, we'll see if there's any drone. Let's see how she sounds from a stop. to have to get, sounds great. We're definitely going to have to get some drive-bys on the car, just so you guys can really hear it from the outside. We'll probably try to get out maybe tomorrow and do some drive-bys with the exhaust so you can hear the different modes. So I'm around your typically droney spots, around at 70 mile an hour mark or whatever, and I'm not hearing any drone even when you're on that light throttle. So now I'm on the throttle. It's a slight grade, so we're getting just a little bit, but I'm not really hearing anything. So with the windows up, I'm very, very happy with that. I mean, like I said, every exhaust system, like the F-150, we've got the LTH catback, by far the least droney catback I've ever heard on an F-150. So I'm going to switch out some modes here. But if it doesn't drone in track mode, it's just going to get better in the other modes, I feel. Sport mode. Standard mode. And again, you don't hear a whole lot of difference there to steady. Then quiet mode. In quiet mode, it literally disappears. So again, super, super happy with how this exhaust system sounds. I love the tips on it. The tips are amazing. I love the way they look. We decided to go with the polished tips. They may end up with some color options. I'm not 100%. We've got one of the first systems out here, but I'm really happy with these tips. We've got some all polished welds. I think that'll be fire with this red metallic. So like I said, stay tuned to the channel and follow us. Hit us up for all your parts. I try to be here for all the guys day and night with any questions they have. We got 10 guys working for us, guys and gals, and everybody plays a big part. But I appreciate all you guys. Share the channel. We're really trying to get some more videos and stuff, our Instagram, everything like that. And keep us in mind for all your parts needs at Beefcake Racing.